Hello, and welcome back to another episode of A Recent Study Suggests. We are your hosts, Robert.
And I'm Sam.
And this is our first episode back in the new year, 2023. What does this make it? 4 years of podcasting?
Why is it 4 years?
4 years of podcasting.
When did we start? In 2020?
So what is that?
It was August of 2020.
So 3 years in 2020, 2021, 2022, No, yes, 4 years.
What?
4 years
How
of
did
podcasting.
You get there?
2020, 2021, 2022, now 2023.
Okay.
4 years of podcasting.
It's a good thing.
Episode 100.
We're doing this in video as well because you count it on your fingers, and on your fingers it makes sense. But I think
or
really
just saying
it's
it out
only been
loud makes sense as well.
2.5 years, right?
4 years of podcasting. That's what matters. And yes, what Sam said, we're doing this episode as a video podcast.
You can see us.
You can watch this episode at youtube.com/@arecentstudysuggests. So in case you were wondering what we look like, you shouldn't though, because
we have an Instagram.
At A Recent Study Pod,
which you should be following.
Yeah, and now you have your own Instagram too.
Yes, I do, which is something that you have been harassing me about
I have.
For ages. Since we created our account, I've been using it basically as my own. I think everyone knows that I'm the one who's posting and commenting and doing the stories because I run our Instagram account. And there were so many people that I wanted to follow, and you were like, Sam, you got to create your own Instagram account. I don't care about all this food and fashion and plants, which are all the things that I care about. And so now I do indeed have my own Instagram account.
I threatened you with making one for you.
You did. You did. I think you were very close to doing it too. Like, Sam, I'm going to make you an Instagram.
I really was.
Yeah.
Part of it was like, okay, if I say it, it'll be motivation for her to create it herself. But then when that didn't work out, I had to say it again.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I think I might actually do it. But you did it for yourself. It was part of like a New Year resolution for you, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It's something that I've been thinking about for a really long time. And I'm the type of person who overthinks to the point of just not doing. Because I was like, I want it to be perfect. I want to do everything. And I was like, okay, I'm going to start with Instagram and then maybe move into some other forms of media. And I created Sam's Pants and Plants.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. You haven't even mentioned what the name was.
Sam's Pants and Plants.
Sam's Pants and Plants.
Isn't that so fun to say?
It's very confusing because I can never remember if it's pants first or plants first.
Pants always come before plants.
Okay. Pants before plants.
Yeah. Hashtag.
That's like
I haven't made that hashtag yet, but I should.
What's the girl equivalent of like bros before hoes?
Ooh, I kind of liked hearing you say that.
Because that's what you just created. You just created pants before plants. That's your new version.
Yeah.
That you just made up.
I did know it, but now my mind is totally blanking.
It seems like this is a perfect opportunity for a merch idea. Like we should have that on a shirt. Pants before plants. Yes.
That should be my merch, not our merch.
I didn't say, well, I mean, our merch.
I mean, I
came up with the idea, so I feel like I should get like, I don't know, 90% of it. And
your merch should be bad at math.
And you can be.
Those are the words across the
5%.
chest. Bad at math, because that's you.
And then 5% go to the podcast.
You're doing bad math again, I think.
No, I'm just, being a businessman, being a hustler, as they say.
So that's where I've been. Where have you been?
The same places you have been. We lived
on
together.
My Instagram.
Yeah, on your Instagram. I've been stalking you.
Nice.
I can see all the posts that you're making.
You can see the creation of it too, and then you stalk me afterwards. Nice. I need at least one stalker. I'm glad that it's you.
So since this is our first episode of the new year, I just wanted to talk a little bit about where we've been. And you already said the Instagram was one of your New Year resolutions.
Yes.
So I guess you are someone that makes resolutions?
Yeah. I have goals. I have things that I want to achieve. And I think it is helpful in the beginning of the year to think about, okay, where do I want to be and where am I right now? And kind of just make sure that you get there.
Do you think there's a difference between resolutions and goals? Are they the same thing?
I don't know.
Because to me, I feel like they're different things.
Right.
But
do you have resolutions or goals?
No, not really. I am more of like go with the flow kind of person. Yeah. I don't really like making resolutions. I did mention one to you that I wanted to go on a trip.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go on a trip. And there is another one that I haven't mentioned to you. It's going to be live on the podcast.
You're going to drop it here?
I'm going to drop it here.
Don't ask me to marry you. We're not getting married.
It's close.
What?
It's close. I want to play more video games with you.
I like how it's just more video games. You didn't put a number to it.
Or any video games, because we don't play anything together.
Because I suck at it.
Yeah, I know, but I want to play things with you.
Yeah, I know.
That's why you got to get better. We tried to play It Takes Two.
Oh.
And we played, I don't know, an hour, and we probably made like 10 minutes of progress.
I was going to say 0 progress. The thing about it is, Robert, I don't mind watching you play a game. Like when you played The Last of Us, that was so fun for me to watch. I didn't play it. I never wanted to. It was fun for me to watch you do it. I don't get joy from doing it myself. Okay. You'd be stealing joy from me.
Okay, so
my theme of this year is to choose joy, and you'd be purposefully squashing that.
So you don't want to choose joy with me just by yourself? There are a lot of games out there that are like story-based, not really a lot of like button mashing, because it's the button mashing that really confuses you.
Right.
So there are games out there where you're just like, you're essentially watching a video game, and then at certain points you have to make decisions.
Right.
I think those games we could play together.
But there's also some games that I would just get really frustrated by because I keep failing at the task that I'm supposed to be doing. So it keeps restarting me or I die. And I just don't want that for me. I don't. Well, I'm not alone in this. I'm sure there are many people out there who are nodding their heads at what I'm saying because they're like, yeah, we don't want that either. We don't want to spend our time dying repeatedly.
It's just that I experience games basically by myself. Like I want to experience that with you too. Right. I didn't realize that you were such against spending time with me. Or, you know, I guess it is new year, new you. You want to be further away from me? Is that what you said?
I mean,
right?
No.
Pretty sure that's exactly what you said. I'm quoting you.
You're not.
I'm quoting you.
Not only bad at math, but bad at quoting people.
Okay, before New Year's was Christmas.
Yes.
And you got new glasses?
I did.
Or I got you new glasses. No big deal.
Yes, these new glasses that I'm wearing are courtesy of the Bobby of jokes.
You never call me that.
I thought
just Robert.
New year, new me, right?
You sounded so not confident.
From Robert.
Yeah.
You know, someone said that I look like Doc Ock from Spider-Man in these because they're octagonal.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never counted how many sides there were on my glasses. And then I Googled Doc Ock from Into the Spider-Verse, and I was like, I am
a villain.
Yeah.
You are a villain.
It's great. Yeah. You got me these. Thanks.
You're welcome. And my brother surprised us. He lives not here in Houston.
Oh my gosh.
We were on our way to my aunt's house, and he called me asking, hey, where are you?
Which is odd because he lives hours away. Like, why are you asking?
Immediately when he asked, where are you? I knew he was here. But luckily, we weren't too far away. We were maybe like 15, 20 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
So he drove back, picked him up. And it was really not surprised because he had told everyone that he was not coming for Christmas.
He literally kept this secret from everybody. His roommate, your mom, your aunt whose house we were going to, all of your cousins, you, me. He told nobody. And I asked you, I was like, did you know he was coming? Is this a surprise for me?
Mm-mm.
It was not for me. It was not.
No, it was not. My brother didn't come here to surprise you.
Hurtful when you say it out loud.
Mm-hmm. when you hear it out loud, you realize how.
I was surprised by it though. And it was very nice. He was our first guest. We've never had a guest at our house.
We've
Like,
had people.
to stay the
We've never
night.
had an overnight guest.
Right, correct. We've had people over.
The worst thing about Christmas is that I ended up getting sick.
Yeah, that was bad. I hated that you did that.
And it's super annoying because when I get sick, it's a very long process of like one day I feel like a bubble in my throat. That no matter how much water I drink, it doesn't go away. That's one day. And then like the next 2 days are my throat hurting. And then the next 2 days are runny nose. And then a cough gets added.
You're basically just gross for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I can't be around you when you're that way.
Which is not why you're not around me very often, I guess.
Because you're sick all the time?
Because I'm just gross.
No.
In your eyes.
You're only gross when you're sick.
But that led all the way up to New Year's Eve, where we decided, well, because I was sick, we're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything.
We couldn't be around people when we were sick.
And at midnight, we were both already asleep.
I thought it was really funny because I woke up at 12:03 because I heard the fireworks and I was like, oh yeah, it's the new year, 2023. And I was going to wake you and say, Happy New Year. But I was like, no, I don't want to wake him. I'll let him sleep. And so I went back to sleep.
I was awake too because the fireworks are loud.
You said you also woke up at 12:03.
Yeah, that's when I saw the time. It was 12:03.
We had the same thought and didn't wish each other a Happy New Year.
I did not think to wish you a Happy New Year. I felt like such a grumpy old man because I was thinking, okay, it's 12:03. Stop with the fireworks. Go back to sleep or just go to sleep. No more fireworks. I wanted the fireworks to be done at 12:03.
That's bad.
Because I was sleepy and sick and just...
I think
I couldn't
fireworks
breathe.
are allowed to still be going until like 3 a.m.
What?
What?
3 a.m.?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I would have said maybe like 1:30. Not 3 a.m.
I think it's fine. If it's 3 a.m. and you're like, oh, I have these extra fireworks that I need to...
you're not just finding them.
People are always finding fireworks.
No, if you've been popping fireworks for 3 hours straight, that's way too long.
As a kid, when we would do fireworks, we always had those little poppers left over for like weeks.
Those aren't fireworks, though.
They count.
No.
They're the teeny tiniest. Like for an ant, those are fireworks.
Okay,
if you're
so
popping
what?
those on the cement, you're like ruining their whole house.
For an ant, like a rock dropping on the floor is a firework.
Okay, you're proving my point.
No, your point doesn't make any sense at all.
All you're doing is saying, Sam, okay, you're right, and here are all the reasons why.
I don't think so. I think bad at math now? You're like bad at comprehension.
That's so hurtful. Bad at comprehension.
Yeah. Bad at comprehension.
Maybe because I've been picking my nose a little too much. And
then after that, I wanted to record much sooner.
Right.
Right. But because I was sick, I'm like, no, forget it. I'm not going to be recording while I'm sick. Especially because I wanted episode 100 to be a video podcast. That's always been like my plan, or at least for several weeks, months. That's been my plan. Mm-hmm. Episode 100 video podcast.
Finally revealing our faces in video format.
Face reveal.
Oh, yeah. This is what the title will be. Face reveal. Episode 100 face reveal. You're welcome.
Yeah, that can make it seem like we hadn't been releasing our faces before.
Yeah. As if we didn't have an Instagram the whole 4 years that we've been podcasting.
But now we do. And so I don't even know when this is going to be released. We're recording this, what? Should we say?
Don't date it.
Yeah, I was going to
Don't make it seem like it's old news.
No, it's not old news. It's just, we got to catch up on where we've been for the past however long we've not been recording for. And so I just wanted to catch up a little bit.
That's where we've been. You've been gross. I've been Sam's Pants and Plants. And now we're back to A Recent Study Suggests.
Yeah, I want to take it a little easy in this episode. We're doing a listener-submitted study.
Yes, we are doing a listener study that I'm very excited about, passionate about this topic, actually.
Yes, thank you to listener Josh. He submitted, does picking your nose really increase dementia risk? I don't even know how he found this study.
You know, sometimes you can just Google a topic, like a recent study about picking your nose, and you'll find there's something that exists out there. That's usually how we find a topic. Like, what are we vaguely interested in? Maybe there's a study that exists about it.
Do you think he Googled that?
Possibly.
I don't think so. I think it just came across like his recommended articles or whatever. Like how recently you've been on Facebook Marketplace, you've been suggested giant giraffe, stuffed giraffes.
And I've never looked up a giant giraffe.
Yeah, so something like that maybe happened with this study.
That's hilarious to me because I saw it once, I clicked on it, and I saved it because I was like, that's funny and cool.
Oh, well, that's why it's appearing because you saved it.
And then like 10 other people were also selling giant stuffed giraffes.
And so it shouldn't be a surprise anymore. You saving it is what caused the algorithm to be like, oh, that's all she wants to see is giant stuffed giraffes for sale.
I'm not really mad about it. It's kind of cool. I didn't know there was a niche for that.
I don't know. I guess Toys R Us is trying to make a comeback or something. We got to get like guerrilla marketing. We got to get all the giraffes around. People will be...
It's giraffe marketing.
Will remember Jeffrey, the giraffe, and think fondly like, hey, we want Toys R Us back. That's probably how it happened. That's why you're seeing all the giraffes.
Right.
Yeah. And that's probably how he came across this study.
Does picking your nose really increase dementia risk?
Yeah. But before we get into it, Sam, why don't you tell the listeners and the viewers what a recent study suggests is about?
Well, as the name would suggest, we talk about recent studies. We find topics that we think are particularly interesting, and likely there's a study that exists about it, and we talk about it. We turn into conversation starters and hopefully make each other and our lovely listeners and viewers a little bit smarter.
You know, as we're recording this, video recording it, I feel really self-conscious.
Why?
And not because of the cameras, but because of our neighbors. Because our blinds are wide open.
Yeah, that's all right.
And they can see directly into our house.
That's okay. They can see that we're cool. And they're wondering what we're doing. And you know what we should do? We should get a really big poster and write a recent study pod on it so that they can...
No, because then they know where we live.
What?
They'll know who we are specifically and where we live. Yeah.
Bad idea, Sam.
Yeah, bad idea, Sam.
Well, they just see us and think we're cool. They see me in here all the time taking pictures of myself.
I don't think anyone thinks that podcasters are cool. Yeah.
I think podcasters are cool because we are and we are. That.
No, I'm not sure that there's such a thing as a cool podcaster.
You're looking at one. I'm
myself
looking
in the
at
mirror,
one.
Myself in the video screen.
I think we're cool.
Debatable. Well, maybe we'll let the viewers decide. But going back to the study, what did you think when you saw this headline? Does picking your nose really increase dementia risk?
I guess I thought, like, are you going so deep into your nostril that you're scraping your brain? Like,
I guess that's what you could think of, yeah.
I thought literally, like, your finger is causing that because of the pressure, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're going so deep into it that you're scraping your brain. Ugh, that sounds gross.
Part of me is so curious that I want to put my finger really high up so I can touch my brain.
No, don't touch your brain.
Because saying it out loud made me think, oh, can I access my brain from my nostril? But I guess God was a little bit smarter than I am and did not put our brains so closely accessible to our fingers.
So chlamydia gives you Alzheimer's, but not
You're just dropping this fact.
but not the sexually transmitted disease.
Yeah.
It's called chlamydia pneumoniae.
Yeah. Pneumonia.
It's a bacteria that is found in the brains of people with Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And not the chlamydia trachomatis. Trachomatis.
Here's the thing. You wrote that
Trachomatis.
You wrote that phonetically so you could pronounce it, and you're doing a bad job of it. I wrote pneumonia, and we can always pronounce it.
This is what Google had it as. But now I don't know how to pronounce that.
Trachomatis? Trachomatis?
Trachomatis.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if that's being pronounced correctly, but that's the sexually transmitted disease one.
Right. There you go. Now
So,
you know.
Yeah. Chlamydia causes, or at least chlamydia is in...
It contributes
Yeah.
in some way to Alzheimer's, but we don't know the exact reason why.
I think if you didn't know that it was not the sex chlamydia, you can say having sex increases your chances at Alzheimer's.
Or dementia.
Yeah.
Do you think that people would care? Like, oh yeah, I'm going to have less sex because of that. Or they'd be like, well, I'm destined to have it. I may as well just have sex anyway.
I think that it would definitely get a lot of headlines because it's sex.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what happened with this study, where, I guess, long story short, it's basically like, it could do it, maybe it won't. Because this study was done on mice, and studies that are done on mice don't always translate to humans.
Very rarely.
Right. But it seems like all the outlets went with like scary science headlines.
Scary evidence.
Yeah. Like, could picking your nose lead to dementia? Australian researchers are digging into it. You got to throw a pun in there.
Yeah, it's the puns. It's very sensational, and it builds curiosity. And those are two things that you would never put together. And now they're being lumped together in this scary way. And so it gets clicks.
It makes sense that it gets clicks. It's unfortunate that it does.
I mean, we clicked on this study.
There is something here that I found interesting, that 9 in 10 people admit to picking their nose.
Why is that interesting to you?
Because I think it should be 10 out of 10 people.
Okay, that's what I was going to say, because it's not everyone.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. 9 in 10 people admit to it. 10 in 10 people do it. I pick my nose. That was good.
You're the one who said
That was really good.
No.
What?
No.
Oh, so
not
it
really
was,
good.
you should be rubbing on my shoulder instead.
I'm not going to do that.
I'm a nose picker.
Yeah, everyone is. I'm a nose picker too.
Yeah. I like to pick my nose.
I think it only gets strange when you're doing it, like you're grocery shopping and you're just picking your nose out in public.
Why is that strange?
Because you're in public.
So?
And it gets even stranger when you eat it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
also not good.
Did you ever eat a booger?
No.
Not on purpose, at least.
Not on purpose, no.
Yeah.
I was force-fed them sometimes.
Oh. Who was force-feeding you your boogers or their boogers?
Well, I'm not exactly sure where they came from, but...
You don't know whose boogers you were eating?
No, I was unconscious.
So how do you know you were eating boogers? Can you eat if you're unconscious?
Yeah.
You're able to chew and swallow?
I think so.
But you don't remember it. There's no evidence of this.
This is a long time ago. Yeah, I know. It was before, like, everyone had a camera on their smartphone.
Right.
Like, back when I was younger.
And before you had memories, obviously.
No, I didn't remember because I was unconscious. I had memories when I was younger. I was just unconscious.
Your whole childhood.
What? No. No, I'm just saying that.
You recall very little from your childhood. Maybe it was all the boogers you ate.
Maybe.
It was causing early onset dementia.
You know what they were doing? Now that I think about it, is while I was unconscious, they were putting their fingers up my nose.
Right, because it wasn't the eating of boogers that is causing you to lose your memory.
Right.
it was the fingers up your nose scraping your brain.
Well, after they would pick my nose. I mean, they would pick my nose to get the boogers out.
And then they'd feed it to you. So it was your boogers.
Yeah. I think that's what it was. That makes sense now. That's why I can't remember so much from like ages from 2 to 26. My memory is
that was last year.
Not that good.
People weren't feeding you boogers when you were 26. We were living together. I would think I would know that.
Well, I mean, I haven't told you this, but I have security cameras in the house, and I could see that it was you.
What? It was me this whole time?
Yeah.
And I don't remember it.
That you were.
Why don't I remember it? Was somebody feeding me my boogers?
Because you're a sleepwalker.
Robert, that's so scary. Don't say that. You're going to put that in my brain that I'm a sleepwalker, and now I'm going to be terrified to go to sleep every night because I think I'm walking around without knowing. So you pick your nose.
Yes. I think everyone does. Pick their nose.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
1 out of 10 people is a
lie
liar.
about it. Yeah. I think you mentioned earlier while we were prepping this that you like to pick your nose in the shower.
What? I like to pick my nose at all times.
At all times?
But yes, in the shower, it is especially nice because your body is warm and the boogers are all just melted for you.
I understand it. It makes sense, but it's kind of gross too. What about blowing your nose in the shower?
That's an interesting question. I don't find that I need to blow my nose in the shower because my boogers are all melted.
So wouldn't you need to like get them out?
I pick my nose.
I remember hearing about that from like a friend in maybe middle school or high school that he would blow his nose in the shower. And at that point, that was like a foreign concept to me. Like, what?
My dad has always done that.
And so I tried that one time where like you just kind of, plug one side, then you blow.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's really gross.
Yeah. The thing about it
I don't like doing that.
Yeah. I don't like to see it really.
How would you see it?
You can see it fly out of your nose.
No, you can't. It should be clear.
You can see it.
I've never seen it.
Not all boogers are clear. You're crazy.
I've never seen it.
Okay, have you ever blown your nose into a tissue and looked? It's not always clear.
Yeah, but in the shower, it should be clear if you're not sick.
I guess.
Yeah, so I've never seen it.
Right. Yeah, what's nice about doing it in the shower is that when you pick your nose, it just kind of like dissolves too. So, but like I said, I don't mind picking my nose at all times. I mean, I don't usually do it in front of people, but I like to pick my nose and I blow my nose often. In fact, I always have a tissue in my pocket.
You do.
And I currently have a tissue pocket.
And it doesn't always stay in your pocket.
I could show it.
Sometimes.
Because this is a video.
It ends up in the bed. That's gross.
Proof.
Because that's like...
It's not used yet.
Wink.
Pocket tissue. Everybody needs one. It's an ad.
This episode is brought to you by Pocket Tissues.
Everybody needs one.
There when you need it most.
This girl has one. Right. Yes, like I said.
Leave them everywhere.
I don't leave them everywhere. They're always in my pocket because I always wear pants.
And then they're in the bed.
Well, okay. So let me finish my train of thought.
In your pockets.
So I like to pick my nose and blow it because I hate the feeling of having stuff inside of my nose. Mm-hmm. I just don't like it. It needs to be clear. And this is something that worried...
Like your boogers.
Right. This is something that worried me when I got my nose pierced because I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pick my nose and blow it while I'm healing? What do I do? And so that was a lot of my hesitation was, okay, I can't get this pretty thing added to my face because how am I going to pick my nose? How am I going to blow it? I just hate the feeling of things inside of my nose.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is because of my own self-inflicted trauma as a kid. I mentioned this on one of the previous podcasts that I think I was 6 or 7 years old and my brother had these teeny tiny little metal balls on the floor of his bedroom. I have no idea where they came from, But I was curious and I thought, these are about the same size as my nostril. And I put one up my nose, and it was so scary because I put it up my nose and it's like my nostril was like a vacuum, sucked it up and it rattled a little bit and then it stopped and it didn't come out. And I remember my face getting so hot because I was terrified. Like, what did I just do? But then I saw that he had another one and I put it up my nostril because I was like, surely it's not going to happen again.
Why would you do it twice?
Well, because I was experimenting. I've always been a little bit of a researcher.
Oh, yeah.
And in this case, on myself. And I put it up my nose. It did the little rattly thing and it stopped. And it never came out.
And it's surprising, too, because you have pretty small nostrils.
Those balls are small.
I don't know how it managed to go all the way up there.
I'm pretty sure they're still there.
I'm pretty sure they're not. They probably didn't go up your brain. It probably went down. Maybe you swallowed them.
I hope so. That scares me. Sometimes I have moments where I remember that I did that and it terrifies me. Like, oh crap, I still have metal balls in my brain. Maybe they're all rusty and my brain's going to explode or something eventually. Maybe that's why my eyesight's so bad. Maybe that's why I forget things. Not because I pick my nose a lot and so it gave me dementia.
Maybe it is because you pick your nose a lot.
Maybe people are getting dementia because they're putting metal balls up their nose as kids.
Everyone that gets dementia, they do that. So this study was done on mice where they injected chlamydia pneumoniae. Pneumoniae into like the noses of the mice close to the brains. And then they would euthanize them and then see, is the bacteria present? And it was. And that's pretty much it. Because like I said earlier, studies that are done on mice don't always translate to humans.
Very rarely. And so they conducted this study on mice and were able to prove this about them, but then didn't replicate it on people. And so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, the study doesn't specifically mention nose picking or like plucking your nose hair, but the headline, does nose picking really cause dementia, came because one of the researchers was quoted as saying, if you damage the lining of the nose, you can increase how many bacteria can go up into your brain. Mm-hmm. Just like a general statement.
Generally, bacteria, not specifically this bacteria that's also found in people with dementia.
And so people thought like, oh, if you're damaging the lining, you do that by picking your nose, plucking your nose hairs. And so maybe it could lead to dementia.
I pluck my nose hairs and I pick my nose.
You do that.
And I have a piercing. There's so much bacteria that I'm breathing in at all times.
That you're shoving up in there on purpose. I don't know. You can like get rid of all your nose hair.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me. Like I'll trim up because then they'll start poking through my nostrils. Yeah. But I don't like shave it off.
I hate nose hairs.
You need nose hairs.
I don't like them. I don't want to need them.
You need them because it protects you.
But they're ugly. For me. To me.
Are you just always like staring up there?
Here's the thing. This is why I always have my pocket tissue.
Available now.
I just get rid of
recentstudysuggest.com.
I just get rid of my nose hairs and I always have a pocket tissue.
First 10 people get 2 for the price of 1.
We could sell this.
No. We could, but no.
Instead of selling like my socks
like
on the
bath
internet.
Water.
Yeah. It seems like you're on board. You said no, then you gave me more ideas.
But no. But I don't know, maybe.
But no. But you could do this other thing.
We've been watching a lot of shows while we were on break.
Oh, yeah.
We watched The White Lotus, season 1 and season 2.
Oh, yeah.
Really good show.
Heck yes. I freaking love. We made it a routine to watch that every night as I was having dinner. And now I'm sad a little bit when having dinner because I miss watching The White Lotus. It was so good.
That theme song gets stuck in your head. It's kind of annoying, but it gets stuck in my head.
You mentioned it and I tried to recall it, but all I remembered is like...
Exactly. Just that.
Can you do it?
No.
Do it right now.
I don't remember how it goes exactly. It's like...
Robert. I mean...
I'm going to do like a turkey.
Basically...
How does the turkey go?
I guess like that. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Something like that.
Could you imagine if you walked up to a turkey and it just went gobble, gobble, gobble? Like a human? Like they're making fun of us, making fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
That'd be really funny.
The White Lotus theme song was great too.
It didn't. No, you said like Robert, like you were really disappointed in me, and you made me feel really self-conscious about it.
I said it that way because I was impressed by you.
Yeah, it didn't really sound like it. But I bring up the White Lotus because in season 2,
spoiler alert,
there was a lot of cocaine use.
Yeah, a lot. Surprising. Like once they started doing it, they just didn't stop.
I guess that like real life.
Yeah. I mean, I hear it's highly addictive. Oh my gosh. And it was the idea, like I said, I don't like things going up my nose. The idea of them purposefully making a substance go up their nose was so creepy to me. I was just thinking, oh my gosh, that's in their brains right now. It must feel so stuffy in there. That's awful.
I had that same thought too, honestly, where like, I don't want stuff up there like my nose like that. It's just like, I think of it as like dust. Mm-hmm. You know, when we're dusting, we're cleaning up and
particles go up your nose.
And yeah, it makes me want to sneeze. I'm like, ugh. I don't, I don't know. Watching all that cocaine use made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Not because like it's specifically drugs, but just because of it having up your nose.
Oh yeah. That just seems so not great.
Yeah.
You know, that makes me think a little bit of a side tangent. We did watch The White Lotus and unpopular opinion, we both disliked Tanya.
Yes.
Very much.
Especially in season 1.
Yeah, we didn't like her in season 1.
I didn't think she needed to be there. She was very whiny.
Not likable.
No. In season 2, still whiny.
She was worse, in fact.
Yeah.
Like a baby. I hate you. No. I couldn't. No, I didn't like her. And I loved the show. Mm-hmm. And what I thought was funny was, you know, at the end of the episodes, they did the interviews
with the cast.
And they asked everybody, if you were going on a vacation, which character from The White Lotus would you want to go with? Mm-hmm. And like 90% of them said Tanya.
Yeah. And I think they were confusing the character with the person.
Yeah, because Jennifer Coolidge, wonderful,
sure.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Fantastic actress. She played the role the way that it needed to be played. Mm-hmm. Probably even better. She did an excellent job at being an awful character.
But Tanya, the person, I would not want to travel with.
She's either clingy or she doesn't want you around. And she just wants you to be there when she wants you to be there. Mm-hmm. And she's very entitled.
And the breath, I hated the way she talked. The breathiness of it.
Yeah.
Couldn't take it.
Yeah.
It was a little too much.
Honestly, if I could be on a vacation, thank you for asking,
I didn't.
with any of the characters from The White Lotus, I would probably choose... What was his name? Jake?
That wasn't bad.
Was it Jake?
I don't know.
The nephew?
The nephew?
The nephew.
Oh, what was his name?
I'm pretty sure it was Jake.
I don't remember.
He was fun. Either him...
The British guy.
Was he British?
Yeah.
Yes. He was fun. He's someone that I think I would enjoy spending vacation with because he really would just
kidnap you,
experience the whole...
Take your cell phone.
Him or Daphne. Daphne. She's just fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oblivious to the bad and just focusing on like, this is what I want to do. And
I don't think she's oblivious to the bad. She just like
chose to ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chose not to be the victim, as she would say.
So I would choose Daphne or Jake. I'm calling him Jake. I'm pretty sure that's his name.
I don't remember who it is, but I think those are both good characters. Much better than Tanya. Like as a traveling vacation partner.
Who would you choose?
Those two. Same, yeah. I think that'd be good.
You lie. He lies.
No, I think those would be good. Maybe Lucia.
Lucia?
I'll hang out with Lucia.
Everybody hung out with Lucia.
Once you realize who she was, your face completely changed.
For the longest time, I was calling her Lucia. And every time I'd say it, you'd correct me and say Lucia.
Don't disrespect Lucia like that. Okay?
You know, even though I said that I did not like Tanya, I kind of miss her. Her chaos. Because I said we haven't been watching the show, and there's no other character that exists like her in all of the other things that we've watched since then. She's just so unique, so chaotic, and you kind of love to hate her because she's so bad, and it makes you feel better, or at least makes me feel better about myself, that I kind of miss her. Do you feel that?
I think that there's an appropriate amount of her. I think that if we watched a lot of shows with that type of character or movies, whatever, it would be too much.
Yeah, I do imagine writers recreating her in some form. And, oh, that makes me sad. I don't want more of that.
I thought you were doing an impression of her.
Just now?
Yes. Like, oh, I thought that was you impersonating her.
Here's the thing. Because of the way that it ended, you know, I'm sure people will be recreating her in some way.
Maybe.
I don't like that. I did love the show, though.
Excited for season 3?
Whenever it comes out.
Probably a long while. We were lucky because we were able to like binge it or kind of just watch it on our schedule, because when we started watching it, some point around season 1 where we were watching it, the season 2 finale had happened.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to be like week to week, like, oh, what's going to happen? Who's going to die? Who did this? Blah, 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 blah.
It was on our own pace.
Yeah.
And we didn't watch season 1 when it was airing. So it was just all bang, bang, bang. But now we have nothing. I mean, there's other things to watch.
Yeah. Right now, where we do have to wait week to week is the Last of Us show.
Oh my gosh.
Which
yes.
I've been really excited for.
We haven't even, at the time of us recording this, we have not finished watching the first episode.
You watched part of it.
We've watched half of it.
Yes.
And I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. I cried. I saw your eyes too get really watery around the time that I was bawling. Yes.
I don't think so.
And I was like, yeah, this would be what gets Robert.
I'm like, man, I don't cry.
That's unnecessarily sexist.
Manly.
You're saying gross things. I'm going to pick my nose so I can forget that you said that.
Gross.
So I'm going to scratch my brain.
I wish that we didn't have experience with the games, because I kind of want to experience it like fresh.
With fresh eyes.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I love that I watched you play The Last of Us first before us watching this show, because I catch so many things that are special. Like drugs. I saw hardcore drugs. That made my heart so happy. Those words.
Yeah.
It was great. It was so great. And then you even looked up a clip from the game afterwards from that line. And Sarah is wearing the exact same shirt.
Yeah, and it's that little attention to detail where like regular casual viewers aren't going to notice that.
It's so
but people who've played the games, like, this is for you.
Yeah,
it's little extra detail.
We're talking about this. This is probably so specific. Like, only a small fraction of our audience probably is played The Last of Us or is aware of it.
They should watch The Last of Us show. If you haven't watched it, it's on HBO Max. You can use our code Pocket Tissue and get a discounted price. The Last of Us show. Check it out.
Yeah. And here's the thing. You don't even have to have played the game
You don't.
to like the show.
Just watch it.
It's
a good
just
show.
good.
Yeah. Kind of makes me want to stop recording and go watch it now.
So we can finish watching it?
Yeah, I want to finish watching it.
So what did we get out of this study?
Don't pick your nose. Or do.
No. You
You
can
know.
pick your nose and not worry about getting dementia because it's all good. You're not a mouse.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So to answer the question, does picking your nose really increase dementia risk?
Inconclusive.
Probably not. Pick your nose.
There's been no study about it. But I guess that's it. Thanks again, listener Josh, for sending in this study. We hope that the new year has been good to you.
Yeah. And continues to be.
This also, by the way, this won't be an everyday thing. This setting up the video recording podcast.
Yeah, this was just because it
was
was
too much.
Episode 100.
Yeah.
Technically 4 years of podcasting. And
There's so much setup that happens behind the scenes.
It's ugly. Like, we look beautiful right now.
Yeah.
Our background, or I guess not our background, because our background looks great, but what's in front of us is not.
Yeah, this isn't a permanent setup. It takes so long to set everything back and whatever.
And the thing is, we're good at setting up because this is something that we do. We're familiar with it, but it's still annoying. So you're welcome for this one. Maybe in
100 episodes.
Maybe in another 100 episodes we'll record again. Or maybe sooner.
Do you
Either
think,
way, I think we should do like shorts or something.
Do you think we should end the podcast at 100 episodes? Like no more podcasts?
Oh my gosh.
Like, is this our last podcast?
You have to wait to find out.
I do like the idea of ending like on a even number or like a significant. Like, it'd be really weird if our last episode was like 103.
Right.
I would want it to end like at 100, maybe like 150 or 200, or like an anniversary episode. Maybe the anniversary episode is like 143. Then that I would be okay with. But not like just some random episode.
Anniversary episode? When is our anniversary?
What do you mean?
When did we start dating?
So if you have your own study, you can email them to us at arecentstudysuggest@gmail.com, and be sure to follow us on Instagram at arecentstudypod. And I guess you can follow me
Yeah.
at Robert
We
Barbosa
can plug ourselves.
03 on Instagram.
And you can follow me at Sam's
Yeah, you
Pants.
can plug yourself too.
At Sam's Pants and Plants.
You just talked while I was plugging myself, so I figured
You
I should
finished plugging.
reply, redo the favor, repay the favor. There you go. I got it.
That was worth listening to and watching.
Until next time.
Don't forget your pocket tissue.